A bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. What are you singing? Huh? Are you singing WAP? That is a disgusting song. Why? Because it's two powerful and influential women talking about sex and pleasure? Yes, that Cardib and Megan Girl have no respect for their bodies. You fucking dumb, why can't they write a song about sex? I mean, it's all guys talk about. That is just not true. A guy talks about wanting to bang a girl and you say, it's just boys being boys, but a girl wants to talk about sex or embracing her body and all of a sudden it's a problem? She is talking about her area being wet. Her wet ass pussy? How is that any different than a boy talking about his boners? If you don't like the song, then don't listen to it, but I'ma vibe with it. You better not. Oh, I will. You better not! Gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me, quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. I don't understand why everyone has such an issue with dress codes, like they're only there to make sure no one dresses inappropriately. No, they're there to control women and force them to comply with what makes straight men comfortable and not turned on. What? No. Yes, men basically have no dress code. They can go shirtless during gym or if they're part of a sport. Meanwhile, girls can't even wear a sports bra on a 90-degree day outside. But that's because girls would be showing a lot of skin. And why is that a problem? Because you can't keep it in your damn pants? Learn some freaking control. If you are that turned on that you can't see a woman wearing a sports bra or booty shorts or even a tank top without feeling the need to comment or touch her, then that is very much a you problem and you need to get some help. It's not my fault if I'm attracted to her. Instead of teaching girls to cover it up for boys, we should be teaching boys to not harass girls. It's sad that that's something we'd have to teach, but it's clearly needed if her shoulders distract you that much. I've heard some men say that rape is the will of God, and I actually kind of agree with that. I mean, if that's how God meant for it to happen, you're joking, right? No, I mean, think about it. Oh, I've thought a lot about it, and I've determined you're a sexist, disgusting, burning in hell son of a bitch little pig. Excuse me? How about this? Every time a man rapes someone, his first punishment before going to prison is that his dick gets chopped off. What? Yeah, I mean, if he rapes someone, then we chop off his dick so he can't do it again. It's the will of God. That is awful and disgusting. And rape isn't? I don't think you understand. No, I don't think you understand. Keep going on, I'll chop your dick off right now. Huh? Let me go get some scissors. I'll be right back. No, wait! Snip, snip. Bitch. Lately I've been seeing all these ads and posters with bigger girls on them, and I'm just wondering, why did they stop using models? Huh? Like, they've replaced all these beautiful models with these bigger girls. I understand that they're trying to make their product more universal, but whenever I look at a poster, I expect to see a model, and it's disappointing. Child, there are so many problems with everything you just said. Why do you think that being bigger automatically equals less attractive? Because let me tell you, some of the most gorgeous people I know or look up to are bigger people. Lizzo, she's fucking stunning. Also, why can't a bigger girl be a model? That is very fatphobic. Well, when I think of models as a straight man, I picture this perfect hourglass figure. If your face stays where it is, it's gonna get punched. What? Punched. Huh? He needs to get over himself and just give the presentation. You know, it's really hard for him to speak in front of big groups of people. It makes him anxious. He's just making that up to get out of the presentation. Actually, he's had anxiety his whole life. It affects everything that happens to him. I don't really understand anxiety. You know when you really like someone and you get those butterflies inside your stomach? Now, imagine the worst possible version of that. It's not an exciting sensation, it's terrifying. You can't breathe, everything closes in, your brain shuts down and can only think of the worst situations. You feel like you're gonna vomit and you can't focus. That happens to me sometimes, but my mom just tells me to get over it. You should probably see somebody about that. There's no shame in going to therapy or taking medicine to help you. No, I can't. I don't want my parents to think I'm weird. There's nothing wrong with having anxiety. This is why schools need to include mental health in their curriculum so that we can normalize it. You're not Black. Why do you know so much about Black culture and why are you pushing its education on everyone? Well, I think it's really important to educate yourself on pressing matters in our society, especially minority groups that you aren't a part of. Ooh, why? Well, if I'm gonna speak out about Black Lives Matter or help trans people or discuss ableism, even though I'm not part of those minority groups, I want to have as much knowledge as I can so I'm educating people correctly. This is why it's so important that schools include LGBTQ history in their curriculum. Well, I posted a black square on my Insta, so I think I'm good. I also watched that movie about black people, Giving Hate or something like that. The Hate You Give? Yeah, that. That is an incredible movie and a great way to educate yourself on systemic racism and white privilege. However, there are so many other resources to use as well to continue to educate yourself more and more. I don't get the energy for that. You got the energy to go on an hour-long shopping spree at the mall with no mask during a global pandemic, but you don't have the energy to educate yourself on systemic racism, LGBTQ history, or women's rights? Yeah, Emily, that makes sense. God, she is so lazy. She just needs to get up and do something with her life. You know she has depression. She's just making that up to stay in bed. No, she has actually been diagnosed with depression. She's just doing it to get attention. Do you know what it's like to feel like you don't matter to anyone? Do you know what it's like to lie in your bed for hours thinking about never being enough and never being loved? It's exhausting, it's painful, it's mentally draining. Believe me, laying in bed is not some day-long vacation for her. She doesn't enjoy it, but she physically cannot get herself to move. She is stuck there all day with these awful thoughts running through her head. You have no idea what that's like, so you have no place to comment. So next time I don't want to do schoolwork, I'll just tell my mom I have depression. No, depression is not something to joke about. It's not an excuse, it's not an escape. You don't get to use the very thing that causes so many people so much pain to get out of homework. I always thought depression was just a thing housewives invented to get out of doing housework. Probably because schools prioritize learning the table of elements over learning about mental health and how to take care of yourself. Okay, Brad, sweetie, you dumb shit. Save the whales does not mean fuck all the other fish. Black Lives Matter does not mean fuck everyone else. Get it in your head! I feel like we've come a really long way in equal rights for LGBTQ people. Yeah, we have, but we still have a really long way to go. Plus, there are places all around the world where LGBTQ rights are practically non-existent. Wait, really? Yeah, take Poland for example. Right now they're facing so much homophobia and discrimination. There are even 6 towns that consider themselves LGBTQ-free zones. That can't be a thing. It seems too awful to be true, but it is. People are literally being imprisoned, beat, and killed by the government just for loving who they love. Oh my god, why didn't I know about this? The leader of the government party, Jaroslaw Kaczynski, has told supporters that homosexuality poses a threat to Polish identity, to their nation, and to the existence of Poland, which is just insane and so awful. So the government is trying to hide the information from the world. Yet another example of someone using their power or religion to justify their homophobic beliefs or actions. Exactly, we need to put an end to it. Please donate, sign petitions, and spread the word. I've never really understood why someone would change their gender or go by the pronouns they, them. See, gender is a construct created by society. Yes, you are born with certain body parts and assigned a sex at birth. However, that shouldn't be the identity you have to assume for the rest of your life. But if you were born with body parts, shouldn't you stay that identity? You can't change the sex you were assigned at birth, but you can change the gender you identify as, since it's a societal construct. There are also some people who are born with male genitals, yet female chromosomes, or vice versa. The Jewish faith actually believes that there are 6 different genders. So why has society decided that only 2 genders are considered normal? I still don't get it. Think about it like this. You are born into an athletic family, you have the perfect physique to be an athlete, but you feel much more comfortable creating art. You love making art, and that's what you want to do with your life. Why should you have to be an athlete just because that's what your parents want, or what society wants, or how you were originally built? Trans women are women, trans men are men, non-binary people are people. We need to learn to respect everyone's gender identities and pronouns.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all aware. I hit them all, color money, purple